am at the Norwich Inn in Vermont, and my name is Debbie. I'm also known as Nana, and this channel is called Dreamcrafter Creations. And what I'd like to bring to you today is my journey through my first retreat ever, my first knitting retreat. And this retreat is called Farm and Fiber, and it's hosted by the Junction Fiber Mill in Whitewater, Vermont. And I am so excited. This was like waiting for Christmas to come. I have never been on a knitting retreat before. And I'm excited to show you what it's all about and for me to find out what it's all about. So I did leave early this morning. I met a friend who will be doing a workshop here, but we had to drive in separate cars because we have to have our own transportation because not everything will be held here at the inn. We'll be going to a farm and to the mill where they make the yarn and find out all about that stuff. But right now I have to get ready because we are meeting for a welcome toast to get our itineraries, and there's going to be a dinner and a fashion show. And so what I brought for the fashion show was my Zanette, hope you can see it, Do You Yoke 2 sweater, mystery knit along that I started in January, and I finished it up a month or so ago, probably more than that, I'm not sure, but I will put the episodes up here that you can look back at if you want to take a look. So if you're new, this channel is all about my journey through fiber arts, making, crafting, knitting, crocheting, and just making. And so I did bring along a new cast on, which I'll show you later. And I think I'm going to go a little bit early down there so I can sit and do some knitting. But stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it. Bye. Good morning. So we had the meet and greet, and it was really fun. There was probably 40 to 50 people here, and we were divided into 3 groups, which consisted of 3 different types of sheep, which are Leicester, Romney, and Corriedale. And I'm in the Corriedale, and that is because of the retreat involves 3 different workshops, which is a knitting, a yarn dyeing, and a felting. And I am in the felting. So the felting people are doing Corriedale. So when I first went downstairs, we were able to just like bring our knitting, sit on the porch. It's just like a nice, quaint Victorian inn. And let me tell you a little bit about it first. So just to jump forward a little bit, after everything was pretty much over, me and a couple of other girls just went down to the restaurant to have a dessert and a drink, and we had the funniest waitress, and she was great. I don't know her name. I will find out and tell you when I find that out now. But anyways, she was great, and as the night went on and it got to the end, you know, she really started telling us about the inn, and apparently there's some type of hauntings that go on in some of the rooms around here because this inn was established in 1797. And this picture behind you kind of gives you an idea of the style and vibe of the inn. So I guess the haunting, she said, was taken on this floor that I'm staying at, but not in my room. And another girl I was with, she's down the hall, but it wasn't in her room either. She seemed a little freaked out about it, but I took it with a grain of salt, and it didn't bother me. But I did come home, and then I met Mary here. And so I went up there. I went to see if there's any names. There's nothing in the drawers to tell about the inn. So I did look it up, and this is what I came up with. That it was established in 1797, built by Colonel Jasper Murdoch, originally serving as a stagecoach tavern. And it has operated for an inn hotel for over 2 centuries. In 1889, there was a fire that destroyed the original structure, and it was, hold on, I don't even know why I'm reading this without my glasses, hold on. So 1889, a fire destroyed the original structure, was built again the next year. The inn was hosted by notable figures like President James Monroe and is known for its connection to the popular TV show Newhart. So I thought that was interesting. And I'm not a big history buff or anything like that, but I'm staying here. I wanted to know a little bit about the inn. So she was telling us about these hauntings. Whether that happened here or not, I don't know. But that's what our waitress told us. And so we knit a little bit, got to know each other, just random people out on the porch knitting. And then we were all called into one room. And that's where we were told about our different groups. And Peg and Amanda, who run the inn, have to be the nicest people in the world. But they told us we were going to split up in our groups and to write something on a piece of paper without our name that we felt was unique about us. And I wrote, I have a YouTube channel. I really kind of overthink this at the beginning, but I was like, I don't know what's unique about me, to be honest with you. I just think I'm your everyday normal person. I mean, my kids might not tell you that, but I think it. So I thought the only thing that's a little bit unique is my YouTube channel. So anyways, I ended up being picked out of the hat as one of the first people, and I had to explain my YouTube channel. So if you found me here through the Fiber Mill, Junction Fiber Mill retreat, hello, and I hope you had a good time at the retreat. So we did that, and then we got back together and we did the fashion show, and it wasn't like a runway or anything. Everyone just put down on a piece of paper what they, the pattern name, the yarn, and what they liked about it. And like I said, I brought my Do You yoke too, which seemed like it went off pretty well. I had a couple of people come up to me a few different times asking me about the pattern. So that was nice. And then we just sat and had a lot of hors d'oeuvres and drinks and, meet and greet. And that was it. And I pretty much got home at 10 o'clock at night and passed out because I was so tired from the drive and everything. But that was a nice night. So today I will be going downstairs for breakfast. I'm going to bring my new cast on, which I'm going to tell you about. And one other thing I wanted to say. So when we were sitting in the group and we went over where people were from. And there's someone here from Ireland. They were Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Wisconsin, Texas, Tennessee, all over the place. I was very surprised. I really thought this was going to be just like a New England retreat. But no, there's people coming from all over the place. And, it's a fun time. So my new cast on, and I've showed this in previous videos. Oh, wait, and I have to get back to what we got. So we were given a goodie bag from the Junction Fiber Mill. Nice knitting bag. We knitters could never have enough bags. I feel like the bag lady when I came here. You always have a million different bags going on with different, projects. But anyways, so what came in our bag, first thing, was some snacks. This looks really good. Maple cheddar sweet and cheese popcorn. I am surprised that I haven't dove into this yet, but maybe tonight. This sounds really good. Maple cheddar. Wow. So anyways, that came in the bag. Let's see. Just a little notebook that all of us knitters could use. Fields Notes, Junction Fiber Mill. Has some graph paper in it. Very useful. And this is like I believe this is a gauge, and it can measure your gauge and it can measure different size needles, which is cute, very helpful. And of course see the top of my head, their yarn. We got, actually I think there's another skein in here. Yeah. So they're not marked the weight, size, color, anything, but look at mine. I think everyone got different, and they must have known me because I am a pink. I love the pink, and I love the teal, the blues. Look at that, even matches my nails. So I will have to find something for this. Not quite sure yet, but I will, and I will let you know when I do. So the new cast on I have, and that's in previous videos too. I've showed you this book before. Anna Joanna Strands of Joy Volume 2. I love this book. It's by Lonnie Publishing, and I had purchased it for a couple of patterns that I've already shown in previous videos, and this was the one. And the vintage flannel, and I really am so happy I casted this on, because I figure to get this done for October, when I'm going on another retreat, and I will tell you about that, but I'm not going to tell you right now. I wanted that done, and to me, fall in New England is plaid, so I really want to get this done for fall. So I started it now, and I have 2 months. I should be able to, 2.5 months. What are we in? July, August, September, October. So 2.5. I mean, I'd like to finish it before October. So I think I can do it. And the colors I'm using are Junction Fiber Mill, which is, I believe this is called Borealis. And it is just screaming fall to me. The browns, the deep blues, it's almost like plums. And again, my nails are matching. And then an undyed natural background. So I think these two are going to be beautiful for that plaid. So I can't wait to keep showing you. But I've casted on already. So I got through the neck, and I'm working on the short rows. And let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here. So it was a provisional cast on, which I never have done before. I mean, I don't know. I think I've done one before, but not like this, because I don't know why this was such a challenge for me. The provisional cast on itself was not a challenge. It's when you crochet it onto the needle, the cast on. But it was getting the needles, taking the stitches off the provisional cast on. And I'm not sure if it's because it was a twisted rib and the stitches were twisted that made it so difficult for me. But in any event, I did get it done. And I started my short rows again, because what happened was, the first time taking the provisional cast on off, there was like a hole, and I was gonna live with it and just, tack it up underneath, sew it. But what happened was, when I started doing the short rows, which was fine, I literally got to the end and dropped a double stitch, and I was like, oh no. And it just kept unraveling. I YouTubed it to try to fix it. It just was not working. And you know what? It was meant to be. I ripped it out because that hole was bothering me. And I've redone it, and it is perfect now. Well, I don't know if it's perfect, but it's pretty much better. So there's your front. It's always lower in the front, and you have the short rows in the back. And so moving on, and this is what I'm going to bring downstairs this morning to knit with me. We have breakfast at 7:30. I'm not quite sure what time it is right now, but I think I'm getting close to that. And today I will be going to the mill to see how the yarn is all made, and I'm going to try to get pictures of that and videos for you to see. And I'm going to buy some yarn, and I'm going to tell you about their Rhinebeck sweater that I want to do. And I'm not going to be able to go to Rhinebeck because of the retreat I'll be going on in October, which again I will tell you about at a later date. But so this will be fun today, and then we'll see all the sheep. We're going to go to the farm. I'm not sure what's going to happen up there, but I will try to get some video on that. And then we have a lovely dinner tonight that everyone says is great, and we're all taking a bus there. And that's that for the day. And then tomorrow I'll do my felting workshop. So I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now. And bye to Mary. Bye. Good morning. Today is the last day of the retreat. I just finished getting ready. I will go downstairs for breakfast, and they will be having a knit-along cast-on for their Rhinebeck sweater, the Florence, which, excuse me, I did purchase the pattern already. I don't have it with me right now, but I did get the yarn, and I actually bought 2 sets of the yarn to make the sweater. Not that I am going to make it twice. I might. It all depends on how the sweater comes out. But I bought enough yarn so that if I wanted to make another type of sweater like that, because it is a colorwork sweater with all types of, I don't know if it's per se flowers, but it's a beautiful yoke, and it does have the colorwork throughout down the bottom as well. And I went to the mill yesterday, which was quite an experience. What a process to make all this yarn. So now I can appreciate when I'm buying yarn, because there really is a big process to get from the sheep to the skein. It's really amazing. So if I can put some pictures at the end of the machines, they really didn't have it going, so there wasn't a lot to video. But if you ever have the chance to come to this retreat, or just you're in the area to check it out, I would highly recommend the Junction Fiber Mill in White River, Vermont. And the owners, Amanda and Peggy, couldn't be the nicest people. They're the nicest people. So we went to the mill, and after the mill, we went to the farm at Peggy's house, and that was really fun. We got to go in with the sheep, and they are amazing. They're so friendly. They were like herding around us. I tried to get as many pictures as I could. I'll put some pictures.
Oh, nice. Just put your hand out, and they'll eat right out of your hand.
Wow. Yes, I see. Look at their face. Let me see you. But they were adorable. I did get my foot stepped on once, but it was fine. I had some sneakers on, no problem. But that was really fun. And what else? What did we do after that? Then I came back to the inn. I did some knitting. We changed, and we got ready to go out to dinner. And we had a lovely, I call it farm to table dinner. And that was at the Cloud and Farm. That was beautiful. We all went in a bus. I believe it looked like there was about 50 of us. We filled the bus, and we had a great dinner, and from soup to nuts. It wasn't soup, but a salad to dessert. Lovely time. We were told to mingle through the tables, and we changed it up, so you were able to meet a lot of different people. And I have met many different people here from all over the place, and it has just been a wonderful time. So just wanted to kind of jump in this morning, as today is the last day. I will be leaving after the they call it the mill cast. That will be this morning, 7:30 to 10. We're going to have breakfast. We're checking out. I'm all packed. 8:30, knit-along cast-on and mill cast recording. So, look for that on YouTube. I'll put the link below. I'm sure if out of the millions and billions of people on YouTube you found me, I'm sure you know who they are, because I'm just a newbie here, and I hope you did find me. And if you were at the retreat and you found me, I hope you had a great time. I did, and maybe we'll see each other again sometime, because I do plan on coming back. It was really a good time. But today I have my felting class, which I'm really excited for, and I will be putting that up in the final video and how that all worked out. But for now, have a great day, have a great Sunday, and I will see you in a little bit. So one of the reasons I got on here this morning was to show you what I have been able to purchase while I'm here, all the yarns that I bought and what they'll be used for, and just to add to my collection. So the first yarn I bought at the mill yesterday were these 4 different yarn types that I'll be able to use for, look at how beautiful these are. Just these 4 together. This is an okra. These are light. This is the Roots Light Junction Fiber Mill, 100% American wool, the okra. And this one has bonus yarn in it, it says. So it's a little bit more than the regular skein, but I just love this color. I think this is a pretty up and coming color, and I love how it pairs with the oranges and pinks, and that's what I plan to use it with. This one's called Zinnia. So it's Zinnia and okra. Look at that. And I'm hoping I'll either do it for the Florence, that is the knit along for the Rhineback, which is in October. I will not be going to that, which I'm a little sad about because I've heard so much about the Rhineback and in New York, and I will be going on another retreat, which you'll understand why I'm okay with it. But next year I will go to Rhinebeck. So I have these 2 beautiful colors for the Florence or another sweater, depending on if I use, and I bought these 2, and this is the colors the Florence is shown in. It is the Mill Blend Light, a bit of everything, and the color is, I think it was a dark gray, I believe, when I found it, but I guess it's a bit of everything. It's a sport weight, and it's like a dark gray, a little bit, not heathered. I wouldn't say heathered, maybe. But that with this pumpkin patch, how fall is that, right? I love this. So this is what the pattern used, and it that's what drew my eye to it. So I'll either use this or this one will go to another pattern. I'm not quite sure. But those were my 4 different yarn types I bought, as well as down the street they had another yarn shop, and the name is not on here. And it was emailed to me. I will put the name up here. It was literally a 2-minute walk from the hotel here. So, and it was lovely, and they had beautiful yarns, and the lady in there was lovely. So I was able to get Alegria, which is from Uruguay, and it's a superwash merino. It's just a natural color. For a background of a cardigan I want to make that I've shown you. I think I even showed it to you in this video itself, but I can't remember, so I'll show it again. But so I have this, and then I'm pairing it with this. Very fine. And let me show you the pattern. But this is me. These are my colors. So those were my yarns. This one, Garden Lupin, and I love this. It has a little bit of a drop shoulder, I think. It's very oversized. I'm not sure if I'll make it that much oversized, but that's what this will be. And that was the yarn. And I also was able to purchase some twist shorties in the 2 to 3 inch, which I think will come in the chugu or chigu. I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but these will be, you know, I do a lot of Icelandic sweaters, yoke sweaters, so I think this will be very helpful for the sleeves. I think I'll even be able to use them for toys. So I did do a lot of purchases and added to my collection. So And also at the store, these are called Emma Ball bags. They're the cutest. Look at these. These are the cutest bags. And the inside, this is the inside. So cute. And this one has a drawstring, but it was so oversized. And I do a lot of big projects. I do, you know, the blankets and everything. So I thought this was great. So this was another souvenir with my lambs on it. How cute are those? I do also have another one of her bags that the Generous Anew from the Unruly Stitch, my local yarn store, had given to us. Her knit night people, I forget what was going on, if it was a yarn week or something, but how generous is she? And she gave us these totes. So I'm really liking this pattern from Emma Ball. Emma Ball, I believe is her name. Let me find the tag. Yes, Emma Ball. This is right there. And I also purchased, she had these cute tins. Love the tins. Remember I told you the grandchildren love the tins, so I'm kind of collecting these. They like to use them when they're at the house, but it also has the sheep. I'm loving the sheep pattern this year. So I got a little tin for some treasures, and that's about it. And I am off. I'm going to have some coffee and breakfast and, you know, go to the events, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hello. So I'm back. I'm back in my craft room, and it has been a couple of days since I got back from the retreat. And you know how that goes when you go on a little vacation, you get punished when you came back. So there was a lot to do for me when I came back, and I also had to edit the video. So a couple of days after the retreat, and here I am back in my craft room. But so the last day was just the workshop I took, which was the tapestry needle felt, which was 3 hours. And the woman who ran the class was Nasa Russo, and this is her brochure, and you can see her website, and this is a picture of the type of work she does. And I regret the fact that I did not take any pictures of the sample work she had there. I don't know. I think when, you know, you're in the moment, sometimes you're just trying to absorb the class. And unfortunately, I did not take pictures of her samples. And the little piece that I did, I don't really think it does justice for what her class has to offer. And I will show you, I'm not 100% happy with my piece, but you know, everything in crafting is trial and error. So basically this class, you know, the brochure is great here, but it's like there's, it goes from, I'll show you. This is just, and she said it was from some type of automotive place, but it's just a piece of styrofoam. It's about 1.5 inches, and maybe 2 inches actually. Let's measure. Let's see. It is actually, what is it? No, it's really just not even 1 inch, but this is the board we had. And then I'm just going to show you the back for now. So we had these 2 pieces of felt, a very thin natural white felt, and she had written designs on all the different pieces of felt, and you could pick. And she had a butterfly, she had a few different flowers, she had a sunset type scene, landscape. They were all small, and there was another type of flower going up from the side. And like I said, I regret not taking the pictures, and I'm really sorry about that. But I ended up picking this design that kind of reminded me of a hydrangea. So I was trying to do a hydrangea, and how I tried to do that was just use, you know, purpley colors and added in a little bit of green for some leaf color. But it really didn't turn out how I expected it to. But in any event, you do take the two whites together and you take these, so if anyone here knows needle felting, I'm sure you'll know exactly what's going on here. But you have these little needles that are like this. I don't know, very, very sharp. I actually punctured my finger during the process. But you know, you have the wool down on your board and you basically have roving, which I don't have right in front of me, and you just poke away and put your colors in the design how you want it. And then when you're done, there's a wet felting workstation, and that was, she used an olive oil soap and she soaked them and rolled them out, and then we rinsed them and they felted together. So this looks, you know, after the wet felting, it looks a little bit different prior to that. But in any event, this is how mine came out. This is my hydrangea. So, I mean, the process worked out fine, exactly how it's supposed to. But I picked, where these are such small areas, and this is the first time I ever did this, they, and this is supposed to be like a coaster, so I'll cut around the green edge I made. It was just hard. It wasn't hard to get all the small little sections, but what she does is she, and you can probably tell in the picture, she outlines everything in black, and it's very thin, and it pronounces, you know, the picture, and it looks so nice. But she has, this is her website, if you can see that. I'll also put it in the notes, in the show notes, they call it. But you can go to her website and you can learn all about it. I know there's all types of products that she sells to do this. And I actually really enjoyed it. It was 3 hours straight just to get this one little square done. And it's pretty labor intensive on your hand. So these do take quite some time. I mean, you can get this done much quicker than you could knit a sweater, but it's all about what you're making. And you can make felted things in 3-dimension, all different types of animals. But like I said, I didn't get any pictures. So you can go to her website and you can see all about it. So I actually do have roving. So this is what the roving looks like. And this one's actually kind of sparkly. And I had purchased these, I don't know how good you can see it. See, ooh, look, see the sparkles in it? But I had purchased these because I did do some weaving, and this really gives a lot of nice texture in some weaving projects, which maybe someday I'll be able to show you. But it is a roving like this that we used, and you literally take teeny pieces with the felting needles and you just stab it into the felt and make a picture of your choice. And so at one of the festivals, which, like I said, go to the first video at the end, I bought this kit from Lyric Hill Farm, and these are felted around the soap. And I just thought, I can't see this, I hope you can see that, these were the cutest thing. And you know, it comes with everything in it. Let's see, it has a little bit of felting, soap felting kit, so everything's in here with the directions. There's the sheep I'm going to make. And I actually think my friend's going to come over tomorrow and we're going to work on these. So this will be another video. But I'm glad I took that felting class because I think it'll be very helpful in doing this. And these come with these, so you put those around these beautiful soaps. And I wish you could smell it. I love rose smell. This one's rose smell. So I'm going to try to work on these, and then I'll be able to show you that. But that workshop was very helpful, and I hope to do some more soon. But I wasn't 100% happy, like I said, with my project and how it turned out. But, you know, we're all big critics of ourselves. So anyways, the class was like 3 hours. They did bring us lunch at the end, and we were all getting our lunches from King Arthur. And let me tell you, they were great lunches. And I had sandwiches each time, and they gave you a cookie and some potato chips, and they were just unbelievable sandwiches. The breads they were on, they were thick. It was great. So the one thing I do regret about my retreat, going on the retreat, is that I didn't give myself enough time. There's King Arthur's that you can go to, which is, I think how they've explained it to me, it's a very gifty kitchen store. They do cooking classes, and there's a big bakery there. And I wasn't able to go because I did have arrangements to get home at a certain time for a family event. And another place I wanted to go, they call it the Post, and they said it's a very gifty store, all kinds of like a stationery store. But I just didn't have enough time. They really packed our days, and the one day I thought I'd be able to go, we ended up, by the time we got back to the inn, there just wasn't enough time. So the next time I go, I am going to allot myself either going before the retreat or after the retreat, to go to King Arthur's and the Post and look around Vermont a little bit more. But I thoroughly enjoyed the retreat. I highly recommend it. I hope they do it again. So look out for their Millcast podcast and get on their newsletter, and that's where you'll find out about it. But until my next podcast, I hope to see you again. And if you're new, you'll see all types of crafting and knitting and sewing and crocheting and a little bit of felting now, and maybe even some weaving in the future. So if you like what all that's about, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And if you have been watching me, thank you for supporting this channel by coming back and watching me through. So until the next time, bye.